Okay, beautiful family. Thank you so much for joining us for this powerful full moon ceremony and celebration and gathering here together. I'm in Sicily at the moment with my beautiful beloved Lars. We made a promise to ourselves that we would give each other a honeymoon every year because we do so much work with our beautiful groups that we love to do and love putting it together. And, you know, for those of you that know that we pour our heart and soul into creating these magical spaces for people. So our little promise to each other was that we created the time and space to have a honeymoon for ourselves every year. So here we are in beautiful Sicily in a place called Isola Bella or Taormina. Isola Bella means the beautiful island. So as I'm here, just to give you a little visual, I'm looking out onto the beautiful blue Mediterranean, and one of the main reasons that I wanted to come here and that we were called here was for this amazing Apu, or really a Nusta. Her name is Etna. Who's heard of Etna? Etna is the volcano of Sicily, and you know what I love about this is how the people here have no fear of Etna whatsoever. She is often erupting. It's really normal for you to be here and see streams of lava coming out of the spout of Etna and running down the slopes. And the local people here and the native people here, it reminds me a little bit of Bali in the Mediterranean and their relationship that they have with Gunung Agung, for example. They pray to Etna, they make offerings to Etna, and they give thanks to Etna for this incredible rich volcanic soil that she provides them so that they can grow these beautiful things, the sweetest peaches you ever tasted in your life, and good wine. So all of these beautiful gifts that she gives to us, and this energy, I've been reflecting a lot on this energy of the fire. You know, of course, we know that we're in this year of the fire horse, and who's been feeling it pretty fiery? It's pretty fiery and it's pretty fast, right? And as we know, fire is such an alchemical element, but when the fire isn't perhaps honoured or interacted with consciously, then what happens? The fire gets out of control, right? And the fire burns. And the fire can become a little bit too hot, a little bit too destructive. But the fire calls us into coolness, actually. It calls us into balance. And it gives us the opportunity to see where there is outdated things and ways of being that we may have been operating from that is causing too much heat, too much push, too much intensity in life, and actually simplify and pull back and slow down a little bit. And I'm speaking from experience here because I had a pretty gnarly situation happen for myself yesterday where I'm probably one of the healthiest people I know in terms of, you know, I'm all over it. Those of you that know me know that I'm right into biohacking, my diet, and all of the things. You know, I'm super careful with everything. What I do have a tendency to do is take on too much because I love it. I'm a very creative spirit. I have a lot of energy flowing through me all the time. I have what I call idea-aria, which means the stream and the influx of things that I can create just doesn't seem to have a ceiling. And so I will go, you know, and my pitta, because I'm very vata pitta and ayurveda, will get really ramped up, and that's the heat, right? That's the push. And I have to really temper that and be very careful. And the body is so intelligent. It shows us where we might think we're doing all the good things or all the right things, but we're out of whack. And yesterday, I had the most excruciating pain I've ever had in my life right here, coupled with blood pressure drops, sweats, shakes, to the point where Lars nearly rang an ambulance, like it was that intense, right? So I came through that, and then of course the first thing, we need to tend to the physical body always. You know, we've got to ask what the physical body needs and look at it from that perspective. And then once we get things balanced, and the reason I'm sharing this is for a couple of reasons. One, if you're going through intensity, you're not alone. You might look at me or others around you that, you know, might be mentors or guides in some way. You could be one of those people yourselves, and people look at you and think, they've got it together. Everything's perfect, you know, everything's going super well. Let me tell you, no one is escaping the intensity of what is happening right now. No one. It has purpose, it has reason. As these energies are continuing to illuminate and get higher in frequency to lift us up, and they're not only coming to us from the cosmos, they're coming through the sun, they're coming from within the earth as well. That's, again, within the earth. We're seeing it manifested in the physical through the active volcanoes. We're seeing it with fires. Sicily is on fire. There's fires everywhere here, all throughout Europe. I know where Amanda is too. Fire, fire, fire. It's everywhere. But this is all coming to us to, like light. Light doesn't create. Light reveals. Right? Where the creation comes from is the black light, the void, right? That darkness, that depth, the coolness. That's the void of creation. But the light isn't creating, it's revealing. It's showing us, illuminating things that we may be conscious of, but it's illuminating a lot of stuff that we could be unconscious of, that we don't even realize is there. So you may also be noticing that you are processing a lot in your sleep state, in your dreams. Is anyone noticing that? Yes. Isn't that a kindness and a compassionate higher self that does that? Isn't that so beautiful when you think about it? Because if you weren't doing that in your dream state, you would have to be processing that in your waking state in life. So the other thing that is very normal to be experiencing right now is absolute wipeout, exhaustion. Is anyone feeling that? Yeah. Sometimes it can be you have a tiredness, and then there might just be a day out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever where you're bone tired. And we go into trying to figure it out, right? We want to know what it is, why we're tired. We look at this, we look at that. But my invitation is, if any of this stuff arises for you, if you can do your best to stay in peaceful awareness, just to be in peaceful awareness of what is there and what's arising. Because again, back to these energies that are arriving, that are illuminating, they're asking, or they're just creating a space for this stuff that we may know, that we may not know, to come up and to come out. That's all it wants to do. It just wants to come to the surface, to be revealed, to be seen, and finally to be allowed to move. Finally to be allowed to alchemize. So everyone's going to be feeling that in very different ways, but if you're feeling out of sorts in any way, shape or form, or whatever it is, tend to your physical body. Ask yourself, where can you simplify? Where are you perhaps taking on too much, doing too much? Where are you resisting the what's being called for, which is to do very little or as little as possible? Because most of us don't like to be in that state. It feels unproductive, it feels blah, it feels like we're stagnant or like we're not moving forward. But what if we just allowed it and know that it will pass, you know? And sometimes it can be super uncomfortable because you might be somewhere with someone in a situation that you really love, that you really want to be in, and yet you feel like you're stuck in the mud. And you're looking around going, what the hell? Like, there's nothing particular going on in my life that makes me feel like I'm stuck in the mud, but I feel like I can't even move. That's my soul in its infinite wisdom. There is something coming to the surface that I don't even know. Nourish, nourish, nourish. Your practices now, of course, as always, are really important. That's why these gatherings, I said to Lars the other night, because Alpha was more than happy to come on and take the group today, and I could have stayed down with Lars down there, but no, I want to be with you So I wanted to come up and just see everyone and connect in and remind us all that this is the place, and our community, our embodied leaders community, is the place where we come together to know and to share and to know we're not going through these things alone. What else do I want to share with you? Okay, coming up on the Lion's Gate portal, we are in a massive trine at the moment. It kicked off with the culmination of this thing that they call Babo's Basket around the 26th of July. So I heard beautiful Heather Ensworth refer to it as the cauldron of change. It really is. And then we have the next alignment that's coming in, which is the Lion's Gate portal, 8-8. And then we have the tip of it, where everything is really going to shift on the 12th, which is the full solar eclipse. I'm going to be in Ibiza for that with Denai, and we're going to be really in Ibiza. You see that fully, you'll get the full eclipse there. But those energies are creating this very powerful trine. Now, you know, you'll hear me and you'll hear others and maybe even yourself being like, and this cosmic alignment and this astrological event, yeah, and this is going to be the one, and this is the, and you're like, when does it stop? I mean, are they all the one? Like, what's actually happening here? Because, you know, I know for me, I see it, I'm like, you know, it's this one and this is the one we've all been waiting for. It's not that it's that way at all. But what it is not only an honouring, but it makes a lot of sense, just as the ancient people have done for millennia, like this is not a new thing, is to recognise the opportunities that come for us when we gather in ceremony, in collective, in community, on those powerful alignment days. And rather than getting tossed around so much by the energies that are there, focus our energies. Focus onto creating change. Focus on something that we want to manifest for our planet, for our global family. You know, bring through tools like we're doing today with Maestro Alfredo in this beautiful workshop of the Agua de Florida, where we're receiving ancestral wisdom, you know, ancient tools, rememberings that can actually empower us to live in more harmony, to feel more at peace, to be in better service. So they are pivotal points, because every time we go through one of these portals, we pop through, right? And you know, you feel that contraction, constriction, like I was talking about before with what arises. And then as we harmonize it and have the realizations, the ahas, then we're through into the next level. That is the ascension process. You know, it's not linear. It's not like this, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, we're like this. But we are rising. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm just really grateful to have you all with us in this beautiful community, and to feel all of your energy and your love. And it excites me because our community is expanding. And of course, in September, we have the Temple of Returning coming up again. So for those of you that are here in the community, that comes with your membership. So that's free for you to join. And 8-8, why I was talking about 8-8, is Maestro Puma and I have a free workshop for you. A lot of people have been asking us for how to work with the breath. Like these beautiful breaths, okay? So we want to share with you a few very powerful shamanic breathing techniques that will be really helpful for you to alchemize, transform, send blessings, move energy for yourself, and also, you know, for your children and for the people that you love around you, for the planet. So join us for that on the Lion's Gate celebration. That's at 8-8, and that's a free masterclass that Puma and I are going to offer then. Okay.